Hello everyone, this is Nolan Rose with Capital Estates, and today we are back talking about investing, getting our minds into the investor mindset and going over the foundations of uh, what you should be looking at when you go to make investments. In my last two videos, I kind of outlined Fred Tishar's 5 steps to investing in real estate. Once again, he has been very influential in my career and my learning, along with my broker. Uh, they definitely put me on the right path by telling me to get started with investing and get me learning this information. Now I'm just want to share it to you guys so you guys are all able to make these decisions on your own and get into your own investor mindset and realize that, especially as young people, we need to be thinking about our future, thinking about how we're going to retire one day and leave a legacy after our lives so that our family after our physical life here on earth, our family can survive later on. But today I'm going to go more into analyzing a property. There's many ways you can do it, and it just really depends on which property you're looking at. Because a single family property is going to be completely different analyzing than when you are going to look at a 96 unit apartment complex. And those people have completely different needs and criteria of what they're looking to invest in, because not every investment is going to be right for you. This is why you need to talk to somebody who you trust and you find knowledgeable, to where you can create a plan moving forward, so you can create a criteria, all that, so you know what you're looking for to go make these investments. But once you start looking at properties, the most important decision for when you choose an investment property, and this will be very important on your analysis portion, is how are you financing it. And there's many ways to finance them. I'll have to talk about in a different video because I'll be getting a little off topic on this one. But knowing how the deal is going to be financed is your most important thing. Every offer you should make should be based on your financial analysis of the subject property, and that offer should maximize your profits given the risks. And just a short little thing, never give someone your highest offer first. That's just with any bargaining, negotiating. You'll always hear that. You never come out first of what you're most willing to pay for it. You gotta work it in. But there are kind of 5 factors when you look at investment property that determines if it's a good investment. And the first one is cash flow, which is how much cash you're generating monthly on top of your expenses. This is important because this is the money that's coming to you every month, and this is what you can build your money to support your lifestyle, or even go buy more investment properties. But leverage is also another one, and that's just basically with anything investing, it's how you can use this to go get more of that same thing. You gotta use what you have and push it into the next, and it kind of snowballs over. And there's a bunch of different ways you can use leverage in real estate. And a lot of that has to deal with your equity too, and you got to know how much ownership you're taking on that down payment on your offer, because that's going to affect your whole business plan, especially if you're financing these investment deals through conventional financing, which is kind of like the average Joe way to get into it. Might not be the best, but it also has worked a phenomenal amount for people to even just create that retirement aspect. Appreciation, you gotta know that the property that you're buying is going to be able to appreciate in value due to the location, your improvements, all this other stuff, and risk is another one. That's just basically how risky it is, how the numbers look, and how confident you feel about going through the transaction. You do not want to let your emotions get tied into making these decisions on deciding whether it's a good investment. All these decisions should be based on your analysis. And there's two ways of analyzing properties. You have the visual analysis, and I call it the numbers analysis. Sure, there's a better term out there for it, but visual analyzing is what you do when you go do your showing with the realtor. Fred gave me this little property checklist I take, and I fill out information on the property like before I'm there and when I'm there, just to kind of take notes and have all that property available for my information available for my clients and myself for future reference. And that's where you get the whole how much is this going to cost to repair thing, because you go and look at what needs to be done, and then you go build your numbers analysis portion after that. Important thing is check everywhere. You want to check everything. When you're there, treat it like you're a home inspector, I say. But it's you just have to not be afraid to like crawl up in weird places or go into the scary looking basement, because there are important things down there that you need to check out to determine whether or not it's a good investment. Numbers analysis, again, this can be done a multitude of ways, and I'm going to be going more in how to apply the numbers analysis in another video. Again, I'm just trying to get your brain going to start thinking like an investor. So a lot of this stuff is going to be expanded upon on a future date. But once you go there, you want to gather up all the property information. Big things to know are the age, number of units, does owner pay for utilities, or are they separately metered per unit, the cost of property, cost of repairs, financing is another big thing. It's like, what are you financing with? How much of a down payment, the closing costs, loan terms, and interest rate. But this is also where when you're gathering it, you can also determine your potential income, and that's really where you can be sure if is this a good investment or not, because what you can potentially earn on it is what you should be looking at the most. Just for an example, like analyzing a single family home is pretty simple. There can be more into this, but just basically like the most simple equation to analyze it is just taking your expected rent and compare that to your PITI, which is your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. This is like the monthly payment that you have on your home. But just for example, if a 3-bedroom property rents for $900 a month and your principal's, insurance, taxes, and interest is around $600, your cash flow is $300 before expenses. So to one person that might be a perfectly good investment, but somebody else might be looking for a little bit more cash flow. But the bottom line you should be looking at is if the rent covers the expenses and money is left over, you're going to be building wealth in the future. And that's really huge, because that's all real estate investing is about, is building that safe wealth that you have control over, that tangible asset that you can go out and improve upon, and that can build you tremendous amounts of wealth in the future. I appreciate you guys checking out these videos. Gonna be making more to kind of clear up this big idea of real estate investing, because there is a lot of information about it that can be overwhelming to people, or you're just not looking in the right places. And I want to give some clear information of where I've been told that are the right places from other people who have had tremendous success in this field. and just share that with you guys so we're all on the same page and we can all work together to better our financial outcome in the future. But thank you.